The Boston Bruins played a hockey game last night. Or should I say, they showed up to play a hockey game, but maybe forgot to play hockey? I know it's preseason, and thank God it is because they look flat, except for maybe the first 3 minutes of the hockey game. We have an NHL Insider giving an update on Jeremy Swayman, which I will talk about as well. So buckle up, Bruins fans. I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. If you've been liking my Bruins content, please leave me a like and subscribe. If you've already done so, thank you, and let's get into it. This isn't going to be a long video, or at least I don't think it will, because that hockey game last night was not good. It's been hard to take a lot of positives from it, but I will try. The bright spots for me last night are a few, but I feel Matthew Poitras and Mark Kestelic have been strong all preseason. Poitras was once again strong on the puck, played a very good north-south game, and looked confident on the ice, driving to the net, going after loose pucks in the corner, and getting right back up after taking the body. The extra weight he put on this summer, which I think is all muscle, has paid off. The kid is determined to show he belongs in the NHL and has been one of the most consistent players during the preseason for the Boston Bruins. Poitras hasn't stopped with regards to his bulk up. At development camp, he weighed in at 185, and at the start of training camp, he was 189. Last year, he was 176. The extra size will allow him to take more of a punishment out there, but be stronger on the puck. If he ends up playing wing, he'll be stronger along the boards. He already has the hockey IQ and skill needed to develop his strengths, and it looks to me that's exactly what he's doing. In last night's game, we got to see preseason debut of David Pastrnak and Nikita Zadorov. Now, preseason for vets like these two are just for getting the kinks out and getting back into a rhythm, so I'm not going to judge them on their lackluster play. I did see Zadorov throw a couple big hits out there, but 100% he had a half-ass effort to get the puck at the end of the first, which led to the breakaway that Bussi got beat on. I'm glad they both got to play last night, and I'm positive we'll see better efforts from these two once the preseason ramps down, or at least the start of the season. No reason to go all out because the last thing players want to do is get injured during the preseason. Mark Kestelic, who is fighting for a roster spot, had another nice game and quickly becoming a fan favorite for his style of play. The guy is an animal out there and shows no fear whatsoever. He fights, he hits, he backchecks, he sacrifices the body, and he scores. I think the biggest surprise I see from him is his foot speed that I did not expect to see from a guy of his size. Very rarely he gets caught out of position, and for me, has to be on the Bruins' fourth line this year, and being a pest to the top lines of other opposing teams. I was happy to see, besides his fight, he kept out of the box and played a lot smarter game this time. I need to talk about the elephant in the room, though. That's the play of Brandon Bussi. So many fans touted him as to be able to be the backup this season before the Bruins acquired Korpisalo. I'll be the first to admit I did not watch him in Providence last year, so my opinion on him is solely on what I've seen in the preseason this year and last. His rebound control can be taught, but it's not good enough right now, and I would hate to think what the goaltending would look like if the Bruins didn't acquire Korpisalo. I'm beginning to think the front office knew the kid needed more time to develop before being NHL ready. He certainly doesn't look NHL ready right now. DiPietro has played better this preseason so far than Bussi. I'm glad Monty left him in the game, as you could see his confidence sucked right out of him at the end of the first period after that breakaway goal. He needed to show he can fight back in the game and gain his confidence back. He made a couple of good saves, but his positioning was off and the rebounds continued to kill him out there. I can't fault him on the second goal of the game or the breakaway because I always feel the players have the advantage on them. If this is the sample size for this kid to make the club, though, it's not looking good. He makes a case more for the Bruins needing to sign Swayman than he does for making the Boston Bruins. Speaking of Jeremy Swayman, we got an update on his contract negotiations from a more reliable source with Pierre LeBrun appearing on TSN saying this.
Yeah, and I think kind of like Shesterkin, except he's in a different leverage position. He's not UFA in a year. He's RFA right now, so CBA-wise not quite the same leverage as Shesterkin has, but similar philosophy that you pick up from that negotiation. Which is, Jeremy Swayman believes he should get paid. Him and his agent aren't terribly swayed by the fact that other goalies, the comps are a bit lower, because the salary cap has gone up and will continue to go up. And by the way, that's a factor in the Shesterkin negotiation as well, that the cap will continue to go up now for years, and it's about the percentage of the cap. And, I know a lot of people, when they saw the Draisaitl extension, were like, whoa, that's a number. It's not going to look like that big a number in about a year and a half, Jay. Like salaries are about to escalate here in a manner in which we didn't see for a number of years during the pandemic. And I think Swayman's camp believes he should be part of that. despite, playing at a position, like I said, that hasn't seen that same type of growth. And the other thing with Swayman, I checked in on that negotiation as well on Wednesday evening, Jay, and status quo was the answer I got. He's pretty headstrong. And, the idea that he's going to cave in here, we'll see. I see him really digging in here and trying to get what he feels is fair. So
LeBrun's reporting makes a lot of sense than what has been coming out of the Boston sports radio the past couple weeks. He isn't wrong that the cap is going up, and that even if the Bruins signed him to an 8.5 times 8, it would look like a great deal in a couple years based on the cap. With the Arizona situation finally put to rest in the NHL, the league, it seems, no longer has to pay for a franchise that should have been moved years ago, and will have another profitable franchise now in Utah helping drive revenue in the league. Do I think Swayman deserves the moon? No. It's okay to ask for it. And this deadline that we've been told the Bruins have is more like a no shit moment. Of course the Bruins are saying they need to sign him by the drop of the puck in the opening season. I think the room wants it done as well, and I know not everyone is going to agree with me here, but one side needs to budge a bit here. They both want a long-term deal, which is great, but if the Boston Bruins hope to have any success next season, I don't feel confident it can be done with the goaltending they have right now signed. Goalie Bob is great, but he isn't a miracle worker. Linus Ullmark wasn't bad in Buffalo, but Buffalo was bad. And the Bruins and goalie Bob saw they could work with Ullmark to make him great, and they did. Ullmark looked great in net for Ottawa last night. Man, I miss that guy. I also think any talk of trading Swayman is premature at this point, as I don't believe the Bruins have explored it at all. If word got out to Swayman's camp that they were exploring a trade, it wouldn't give the Bruins any leverage, and I would think it would cause the opposite effect. That's a wrap on today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If news breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you. I'll see you next time.